Don't swipe left. No, because we're addressing your assumptions about dating in the new roaring 20s. That's right, today we're gonna be talking about dating apps, being single, and situationships.
No.
I know.
Fun.
I know. Joining us today is a very special guest, a TikTok extraordinaire known for her cosplay of the Lorax in Hamilton. Please welcome Ashby.
Oh, it's Ashby.
It's Ashby. Ashby.
Ashby.
How are you?
I'm doing dandy. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready to do some assumptions and debunking?
Of course.
Yeah?
Yeah, with all my friends.
With all your friends, yes. We're also joined by Tommy.
Hi.
Hi, Tommy.
Hi.
And also Amanda.
Yay.
Amanda's return to assumptions.
Just a crazy dater.
Now that's something that we want to talk about right up front. You see, the four of us here, I believe, unless anybody had a tragic night, we are all booed up.
I've had tragic nights, but I am still booed up.
But you're still here, yes. Amanda is married, I'm engaged, you guys are dating.
You're not engaged.
You're not engaged.
We're not dating.
What are you doing?
Yes, that's right. We're a
Ashby
couple
and I
of
are
things.
not
You guys are
together.
not
This is our
together.
We're not.
We're not.
You are dating
together.
other
guys?
people.
Yes, we're dating.
Yes.
Whoa.
And as am I, I'm not engaged. I don't know where
That
you
was a
came
lie.
up with that.
It was a lie. She lied to everybody.
I'm not getting married.
What? What the Just now?
Her close friends, she lied to.
For 4 months, she pretended to be engaged and sent us texts and stuff. It was actually very.
Sent us pictures of wedding
crying?
gowns. I am crying. But I'm gonna bring the tears all the way back and put them right back down.
A lady's meal.
Yes.
I hate it.
I
here.
like that. A lady's meal is tears?
Is sucking your tears back down.
God,
I've had plenty of ladies' meal.
We're gonna need like a side. It can't just be tears for the meal.
No, if a lady's meal is tears, she's full.
So we all have some sort of relation to dating, whether it be dipping our toes in dating each other a little bit here and there.
Yes.
But we have a lot of assumptions here from other people about maybe not being in a relationship, maybe being in one, a situationship. But let's examine the culture a little bit here. Whoever asks for the date should be the one paying.
Hate that.
Yes.
Hey,
Split it. You're both in
Here's
on
my
it.
thing. I've been invited to bitch-ass birthday parties. Birthday parties.
You can say that.
Birthday parties at an event, and I'm like, why am I paying for this? It's your birthday party. You brought me to your birthday party on your birthday, and I'm paying for your birthday party.
On a date?
I feel like that
No,
gets...
no, like a birthday.
No, a birthday party.
Birthday party.
She
But we're
jumped.
talking dates.
Oh, I see.
I jumped. She's off.
She jumped. Are you in the woods?
I'm
With
in
your
the
friends?
woods.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know, like if you invite me to bowling, and it's a bowling party.
What is this party thing you're on?
It's not.
I know. I'm following you because I get it. That's
Or like a movie, like
Yes.
he invites me to movies, and sometimes I don't have a ticket. It's like, why am I going to the movie? I didn't want to go to the movies. You wanted to go to the movies.
Oh,
Now
so
I'm
you
paying
should've bought the
$25.
tickets.
Sounds like you didn't want to go on the date.
Well, it's because we were 16. My mom paid for our first date.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
Okay,
it's like,
well, then
I don't
that's
know what
nice.
it's like to
That is
then.
very cute.
Okay, that's what I want. Mom pays
hear
for all
you.
the dates.
Mom pays, I
Mom
think, is the
pays.
right answer.
I
yes.
think
Always.
if a guy asks you to go, or a guy, a girl, whatever, asks you to go on a date, I don't think it necessarily means that they're paying.
No.
The birthday thing is tricky though.
If it's an event
I kind
where
of hear you about the birthday
it requires like entry, then I think it's always whoever invites you to that entry like who came up with that.
I am following.
This
I am
recently happened to
following
me,
it.
so I'm a little hot.
thing. No, I am following totally, but I think again, case by case.
Case by
Case by case.
I see where this person's getting at as well in terms of like if somebody is like, hey, I would like to take you to dinner, come with, then it sort of feels like I'm treating you to this dinner.
Right.
It feels like it would be like for me, it would feel weird to be like, thank you so much for coming to this dinner, and here's
So
the
if I
check.
asked you, or is this specific to dating? If
To dating.
Amanda,
Yes.
okay.
But I'm asking you out on a date though.
Oh my God.
Yes, I would like to take you to
Sorry.
dinner. I would like to take you to dinner, and you can have whatever you want, and let's share some wine. And
Okay.
here's the bill.
Share a glass of wine.
We're gonna share the bottle. That's right.
See, that's my thing. I don't have
that's like
control
$40.
over that.
We're sharing the bottle. So, and here's the check. Amanda? Me? We split?
If someone has to
Split.
pay, if
I
there's
can
going to be
split.
one person to pay, it should be the person who asked the other person out. But I think the rule of one person paying on a date where you both are buying in to date each
Yeah,
other,
no.
there doesn't, unless you're
Agreed.
into some chivalry thing,
Yeah.
which is also fine.
yeah.
If someone wants to,
If someone
I'd be
wants
like,
to.
oh, thank you.
Yes.
But I don't go in thinking, oh, well, he's taking me out on a date, so he's
Yeah.
paying.
Right.
I agree with that. I think the only caveat is if they take you to an expensive place that you would not have chosen. Like
And
if someone,
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Full force on
Totally.
that.
Or bowling or
Yes.
the zoo.
Yeah, the what? I'm really bowling is Well, bowling's very expensive.
Yes.
It is.
It is?
All right, now let's get into
shoes.
this. You go on the date, it's amazing. We don't know who paid, forget about it.
Okay.
Should you wait 48 hours before texting after the first date?
No, text them. I got in safely. I might
be
took
dead
my
by then.
pants
If
off.
they wanted to, they would. That's the whole thing.
They're
That's
already
like,
in my room.
yeah.
No, that's so stupid.
There
As a
shouldn't
woman,
be a
I've never
rule.
understood that. I'm like,
Me
I'm
neither.
waiting.
Yeah,
Same.
wait. So 48 hours, 2 whole days after the date has happened.
I'm like, they hate me and they never want to see me again.
You're already
Agreed.
blocked.
Yeah, I think that night I would love I had so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Marry me,
Yeah, good
something
night.
like
that.
Sweet cheeks,
What?
that thing.
Oh, what?
Oh, what?
Says the married person.
It's true.
Anti-marriage.
I do agree though. I feel like
Yes.
it's like if I had a great date with someone, I'd be like, I kind of want them to text me like immediately.
Immediately.
Do what you
And then
want. If you
continue
had a
to
good
text
time,
me.
tell them you had a good time.
Yes,
Yeah.
the best is like when you know the sparks were there, and then the next morning you get a good morning, and you're like, and yes,
Like we've
days.
locked it in.
we've
Yeah.
locked it in.
2 days is
I don't know
like
where that came from.
That's a long time. Which part? The
The
bowling?
2 days.
Oh,
Yeah, we're bringing up the bowling again.
sorry.
I think
And
it used to
said-
be a 3-day rule. I think it used to be
That
like you
is
wait 3
unacceptable.
days. Yeah,
That's crazy.
'cause
We're running out of
you're
time. We
going
gotta
one
move
day
fast.
and then you're going like, wow, the date was so great, and then the second day you're like, what happened?
yeah,
It's like-
what
and
And then the
details
third
did he
date
tell
you're
me?
like,
Who invented
I'm moving
that?
Forgot
on.
his name.
A man made that up.
right.
Yes.
I think
100%.
it maybe probably stems from the idea of like you don't want to seem too desperate.
Do you know what women love? Desperation. Hello. Bring it on in. I don't know. Do we?
Do we?
Like yearning. Yearn.
Do you know what people love? Fucking knowing
Follow
what the other
through?
person is.
Desperation.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was
Hey, no.
This episode of Assumptions is sponsored by Stitch Fix. Speaking of assumptions, aren't you exhausted from guessing what to wear or assuming how something is gonna look on you? I have spent hours scrolling on websites trying to find the perfect jeans, and then I started using Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is easy. All you do is take a style quiz, get matched with a stylist who is a human being, by the way, and then your Fix box arrives with clothes that fit and match your style. Try it all on in the comfort of your home, keep what works, and send back the rest. Free shipping and returns as always, and no subscription required. Plus, get a free try-on for your first fix. My favorite thing about Stitch Fix is the stylist, who is a human. I can ask questions like, do you have suggestions for date night? Or what should I wear to film a new episode of Assumptions? And they'll answer you because they're a person. Stitch Fix has been a lifesaver during this crazy time where I don't even want to think about clothes. And they think about it for me. So get started today at stitchfix.com/assumptions and get 20% off your first order when you buy 5 or more items. That's stitchfix.com/assumptions. Now back to the show.
Approaching someone in the grocery store used to feel like a cute rom-com moment. Now it feels creepy as hell and sad.
I think what's tough about a grocery store is anyone who approaches you in a grocery store, you like kind of know them. I don't know about you guys, but I usually have my headphones in the grocery store. Is that kind of wrong?
Interesting.
I'm a mannequin at the grocery store. I'm doing
Really?
work at the grocery. I'm not like, hi.
Yeah.
I'm like, if someone comes up to me, I'm like,
Same. I don't have like a basket of flowers and I'm like, let me sample. I'm like,
Yeah.
You're like, hello,
Oh, see, I'm
what?
like Trader Joe's, and I think everyone's looking at me. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, that's Trader
Okay.
Joe's.
right.
because
Trader
everyone
Joe's
is.
is a grocery
Trader
shop.
Joe's is a runway for the models.
Yes.
Exactly.
In
Yes.
fact, actually, I feel like you could go up to someone at Trader Joe's.
100%.
You could.
And it would be
100%
fine.
you
but
can.
not like
Not
what,
Costco.
Vons? Whole Foods?
Vons do not
No,
approach
no,
a single person ever.
No.
Vons and Ralph's?
Not even
No,
Ralph's.
no.
Get out of
Not
here.
even
Not
Foods?
Ralph's,
Not even
Ralph's.
Publix.
Maybe Whole Foods?
Whole Foods?
Whole Foods is, it feels like you're a family. So you're like, my daughter.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
With
Oh,
Whole
that's
Foods,
true.
it depends on the day of the week. Then you can approach.
When's the day to
When's a
approach?
good day?
A weekend.
Okay.
If you approach me at Whole Foods on a weekday, then
Oh,
it's
you
like, I'm not supposed to be here, don't talk to me.
Can I say a theory?
Please.
I think it's okay at Trader Joe's
Yeah.
because the aisles are so tiny. It's like you're gonna be crammed with other people
Yeah, that
anyway.
is-
So it's already got this intimate
already at
like
first base.
like you and me, we already touched butts earlier because we had to
Right.
get past.
That is
Like the
good.
chicken nuggets.
Where it's like
yeah.
Vons, it's like I'm like,
Yeah, it's supposed
I thought
to,
you're
yeah.
cute, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
ah.
Let me change maybe the environment and see if any of that shifts as well.
Please.
Maybe if not the grocery store, how about the gym?
No.
No, zero.
No.
You don't
No.
want to be approached
No.
at the gym.
No.
I
me,
think
the
the
gym is
gym's
a-
a no-no.
The gym, because it would then, if someone comes up to me at the gym, I would then think that everything I was doing before that was either being watched
Watched.
or interpreted that it was like for them. which is never for them.
Yeah.
Correct.
We're gonna zoom out a little bit more. That was more of like a specific instance of somebody trying to have a meet cute. Dating culture has become performative, especially within Gen Z. Instead of being true to oneself, they feel like they have to fit someone's type, and in return, they'll act a certain way to cater towards their partner.
I would agree. I pretended to be a Patriots fan for like 5 years.
I'm from Boston.
Me
Okay.
too, kind of.
And I was a Patriots fan.
Okay.
That's where your
Like,
fleece pants would
what
come
does that
into
have to
play.
do with the Patriots?
What does that have to do with the Patriots?
Right.
So did you like
Yeah, I
love
get it.
Tom Brady a lot?
I thought I did.
I'm struggling with this one because I don't know. I feel like dating is always kind of performative in the beginning.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know about the Gen Z of it all, but it's like,
Well, it's like the men in the coffee shop that are like smoking a cigarette, reading a book on
they're
feminism.
being like a,
It's like a guy
and they
reading
finished
a
their
book.
coffee hours ago.
Yes.
Right.
And they're just like waiting for a girl to
They're
pass
reading
by.
like Pride and
they go to the
Prejudice at the
park with their
bar.
glasses.
Hate
Like,
that.
you're not receiving.
And they're
Yeah.
just reading and they're like sipping on their, although like Shane tells me that he does that a lot. Shane from Smosh.
Shane from Smosh?
You know Shane from Smosh?
I don't
No.
like Smosh.
Neither do I.
I think you have a point here, Amanda, is in that dating is, there's some part of it that is
Yes.
performative. For me,
Yeah.
it feels like at the beginning stages, it's almost like you are kind of holding back
Yeah.
some
Yes.
parts of yourself,
Yes.
right? Like if you know
Yeah.
that there are some like beige flags about you, first date, you're not gonna be
You
like,
can't go full
oh,
freak.
and I crunch
Yeah.
really loud when I eat.
Yeah.
You're gonna hold on until
can't
like the
tell me
third date.
fart.
Never go full freak.
You don't, at this
Never.
point,
Yes.
you do not fart.
Yeah.
At
Right.
this point, you've never
Yeah.
farted.
You've never
in your
farted
life.
before, and you'll never
Why
fart
am I
again.
laughing
Which
so
is
much?
insane. Ben and I, well, I do, but he hasn't farted in front of me after 8.5 years.
What?
wow.
He refuses. It's like an honor system thing now.
Okay,
I
there's
have some
one
friends
room
that
in
do
your
that.
place that is just ripped up.
Just the closet, and he quickly is like,
It's like a fucking microwave exploded in there.
You guys walk in, you're like, when did we paint this brown?
but I'm
And he's in there like,
it's like smoker stains on the wall.
His room's like, no. He's like,
I don't know what it is. It was a thing where it just started and now it hasn't. And now it's kind of a game.
wait.
oh, I'm a
That's a
full-blown
real
farter.
thing. I think people perform their whole relationship.
Yeah.
And how exhausting.
I know, and your boyfriend's been performing.
And just let it out, girl. He just rips ass right now. Okay.
We love it.
Okay, on the topic of farting, getting into a little bit of the potty humor, because some of that does feel a little like risque to bring up. It is appropriate to distinguish whether you have to go number one or number two. If they get weirded out, then they are not the one.
I don't agree.
I don't think you need to say if you're pissing or shitting.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What are they? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you have
I
to
just
take
don't
a
think
piss or
that's
shit.
important. I mean, if I'm in there long, guess what?
And you're shitting.
Yeah,
Then I'll
yeah,
shat, girl.
Pissing or shitting?
Totally.
I also feel like it's
No.
like, how do you approach it if you're like, hey, I need to go, if you're like,
it's
I'm
an-
gonna go shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know if you.
You can just say, I'm gonna be a minute.
I'm gonna be a minute.
I
Yeah.
might be a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, my partner and I are pretty open.
No, I
with
mean,
it.
like now, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I need to go shit.
Yeah,
now
yeah,
the door
exactly.
is open.
Still fully
Now the door-
bang
Okay,
on everything.
you're at
Door's
a
still
highly
closed.
developed part
My
of your
door-
life.
Yeah, you're different.
The door is open. And then he was like, I bought poopery. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
And he's
Why?
like,
You've smelled it before and you'll smell it again.
I still bang on everything nearby to just to mute. I'm like,
I thought you.
like ding. No.
Got a little drum set by your
Yeah, I'm
toilet.
like ding ding.
Yeah.
I'm like yang 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 to try to like mask the sound.
Sure.
There's never really a sound because I'm a girl, but it's one of those things.
course.
No, and I don't.
Silent.
I
You
just
don't even
can't.
poop.
It's a me thing because I get pee shy. So if I overthink it and there's an
Yeah.
audience, then she doesn't perform.
Early on, if you are dating and you aren't like at each other's places and you are out at a restaurant, I think it's very simple and easy to just be like, I'm gonna run to the restroom.
If I had a guy
you
be
don't
like,
need
I'm
to
gonna
tell.
shit real quick, I'm like, what did he say?
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
It would be a lot.
And however, if I was on a
What if
first
it's
date with
both?
someone and they're like, hey, I'm not leaving you alone, like I'm not ditching you, I'm gonna go shit.
That's when you. That seems like
I'd be
instantly
like,
after-
On
you're
the
awesome.
first date though is wild.
But I would be like, hell yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, but
Just
what
for
if
the
it's
honesty of it all, you know?
No, true. And the way that you said it too was very cool.
You know what I mean? But if you're just like, I'm gonna go poop my
gonna shit.
pants.
Right.
I'm gonna shit, I'm gonna go
feel
poop.
good.
I gotta go poop.
You're just crying at the table,
like,
then it's like,
ew, ew.
God.
gotta go now.
Yeah. Then you're
Yeah.
crying and you have to
If
shit.
it's like sly and you can predict it, you know,
Yeah, if
like,
you're like, I'm gonna be a minute. get on your phone and look at something fun, sweetie.
Oh God.
Babe.
I think it
that.
goes down to just the confidence of it, of how they are telling you, and if
Yeah.
they
I
are
think just
weirded
read the
out
room.
by it.
If you're with someone that
Yeah.
would receive you saying you're about to shit, then do it.
All right. Well,
How are you gonna transition out of this one, Arasha?
Yeah,
So
this is a tough one. I'm sorry.
we zoom in specifically to Amanda and your husband. You guys are married. There's a level of comfort there. You pull to the other extreme on the other end, which is hookup culture.
Oh.
Okay? Somebody
Don't
that you're
you point
absolutely
your
not
finger
comfortable
at me.
And this person's assumption is that hookup culture has ruined almost everyone's ability to date.
My thing is my fear of men spans so deep that I thought hookup, I thought one night stands were like a thing of the movies. You're falling asleep in a man's apartment, unconscious. It's
I
like a
hear you.
kidnapper's dream.
Totally.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, and so the worry now, I think, is because that has existed and some people do enjoy it. Some people are like a part of it. Some people are trying it. There's now maybe a group of people that are afraid that if they go out on dates and try to get something more serious,
It's
the other
expected.
person is just going to be like, oh, no, I just want a one-night stand.
That's fair.
Well, that's usually what, if it's via a dating app, that's usually what you would put down. They'd be like, I
preference,
want a
yeah.
short-term
Yeah.
thing or whatever. So usually that hopefully wouldn't be an issue running into that, but that's only if you're doing an app. I feel like people don't find each other and hook up anymore. I feel like it's apps
I feel like
only.
they do.
They do.
They find
Just
each other?
like that.
Guys.
How do you
hey,
find
Let
people?
us do
Well,
that.
let us
I know
do
you guys
it.
are dating, but
Let
please.
us do that.
With gay culture, there's two schools of thought in that there's some people that are I'm dating to find someone and marry them and have
Yeah.
a heteronormative quote unquote
Yeah.
path. And then there's also hookup culture. That's just kind of I want, maybe I'll find a partner, but then I want to keep it open and keep
Yeah.
it going. I do kind of feel like, I'm not anti-hookup culture at all. It's
Right.
per person's
Same.
thing. It's what you want. There's a lot of different people with a lot of different brains. I feel like it kind of numbs, this gets into sex stuff, but I feel like it kind of numbs some gay men's brains to what true intimacy is. And then they want that intimacy from, and I've been there too, you want that
It desensitizes you.
it desensitizes
Yeah.
you. So then it's once you separate the things, then it's hard to
Go back.
unite that with
Yeah, yeah.
someone. Because after a while they just start being
Yeah, I get that.
I want you to cook dinner with me and love me, and I want you to
Right.
so I don't know. So
No, totally.
So I just feel
Yeah.
like
No, you can call me on that.
yeah. So hookup culture, I feel like in a way, yes, it hasn't ruined anything. It just has changed
Yeah.
how people interact with sex and relationships,
Yeah.
especially
Totally.
in the gay world. It's not negative, it's not positive, it just is what it is,
Yeah.
and it's shifted a lot.
I totally agree with hookup culture. I feel like back then it was just you just did. You just did. And
Yeah.
now everyone's situationship. They're putting a lot of labels
many
on
labels, yeah.
dating. It's oh, did you hook up? Oh, was it a one
Yeah.
night stand? And it was kind of I don't know, I'm having fun here.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I feel like we're kind of getting very specific on, which I get because there's dating apps and you want to put a profile and you want to put all
Right.
these things, and it's I don't know. I think when you label it so intensely, then it puts so much heat and weight on. Oh, did you do that thing? Here's the repercussions.
And then it
for
puts
that
a
thing.
cap on it. If you're a situationship and it blossoms further than that, if you
Right.
just say, oh no, he's my situationship, it's that's all it can, you know what I mean?
Yeah, friend zoned.
Yeah,
it's
it's
oh, okay,
limiting. Yeah.
done. But it's or it's just oh, this is this guy that I'm hooking up with.
Yeah.
I think something new that has also been introduced, like we say, over the last few years, especially strengthened, has been social media. And specifically, this assumption brings that into their experience. As a gay man, the amount of times I have been matched with just so the other person can call me ugly is insane and really indicative of the larger dating culture and how social media has changed our perception of how others present.
Okay, well, first of all, that's evil, and that sucks.
terrible.
Right.
Gay men are very harsh and crazy on dating apps sometimes. Especially Grindr, I will say.
Yeah.
Because Grindr's more let me see you.
Yeah.
Let me see your body. Great,
Yeah.
we're gonna fuck.
It's interesting
but-
though how the different apps sort of have this like
Yeah.
unspoken what
Yes.
the apps are,
Yeah.
right? Like that is Grindr. I think Tinder is maybe also the assumption there is that you're gonna meet up to hook up and that's that.
And now they're making apps specifically for different, like Hinge is like that, meant to be deleted. Find your
There's
Field,
soulmate.
right.
There's
Yeah.
Field.
Field,
Yes.
which is for kinky stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kinky stuff.
Yeah.
There's
There's
lots
different
of
stuff
different
now.
apps that have been introduced, and so much of it has changed. And social media just brings a different lens to it entirely because in both you're being perceived. In both, it's like how many times are you like scrolling on like a dating app as well, and like then you go towards Instagram and you search them up and you just
Yeah.
find more stuff
Oh,
of
yeah.
their profile.
And also,
you know?
like, it just, like, I love how accessible online dating is for so many people, but I think it also contributes to the desensitization.
Yes.
You got it.
Desensitization.
Uh-huh.
You got it. One more time.
Third time.
Desensitization
Boom.
Oh, loved it.
of people's feelings. Because I mean, just being on social media, people will say the most horrendous things. And so I can't imagine online dating. You feel like you have this right to judge whatever photos they put on or their preferences. So that, in its own way, is also very tricky.
Yeah.
I can imagine for.
I agree. I also just feel like, again, like the weight of dating. We've made
Yeah.
it so, and I know like older shows like Sex and the City, that was like the big thing. It was like, oh, if you're single, like, what are you doing with
Yeah.
your life? But it's like, we put so much weight on if you're dating, then you are successful. If you're dating, then you're attractive. If you're
Yeah.
dating, then
Yeah.
you're worthy.
Yeah.
If you're dating, then you're wanted.
Yeah.
It's all freaking bullshit.
Totally.
I just said freaking.
Good for you.
Good for you.
you're
Keeping it
warming up.
clean.
Charged up. No,
Keeping it
I
clean.
actually, I feel like I agree with you so much too, in that there is such empowerment in being single
Yeah.
because you're able to make choices for yourself, decisions about your life that doesn't necessarily affect another person. You're sort of like rid of like this responsibility that you kind of have in checking in with
Yeah.
somebody, in that when you are dating, you kind of don't have that and you're just honed into what this other person is doing. The way I see it too is like after a breakup, I think engaging in hookup culture can be super healthy to
Oh my
remind
God.
yourself
Yes.
that you're freaking hot.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
frickin'.
And you need
Totally.
to figure out what you like. That's the
That's
other
so
thing.
important.
You
So
need to
important.
figure out what
That's-
you're into.
That's why hookup culture, like, not hookup
it helps
culture.
you.
I hate that.
I know.
Like, let's
Yeah,
throw
yeah,
that away.
yeah.
Hooking up.
Hooking up
It's
and
Samantha from
having-
Sex and the City.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
A reference they'll love. But like
Stop.
but like
fine.
just, going on dates, even if it's not like dating for a goal
Yeah.
and like, having, different sexual experiences.
How else are
it's
you supposed to know?
to know what you
Truly.
like and know what you want. Of course.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the dating app itself, right? When you're discussing and you're sort of putting together this profile, you're putting yourself out there for perception, one of the factors that you often have to include is your height. The current emphasis on how tall potential partners are is comically blown out of proportion.
I have had a couple friends who've been on a dating app, and they are very specific about height. In my head, I'm like, why? But then they're like, what are you talking about? You're super tall and you're married to a tall man. And I'm like, yes, but I have dated men who are shorter than me.
I am kind of one of those people that I really need to date a person taller than me.
Okay.
And I feel as though my reasoning is true to myself and my
Okay.
experiences, which for me, I hit my growth spurt in 7th grade. I became 5'7" as a 7th grader, and I was taller than all of my friends around me. I felt physically unattractive, towering over
Yeah,
all of my
I
friends.
get that.
I felt like a giant, and that was the opposite of making me feel like the sexy little baby that I want to be.
Well, we were giants.
We were. And so in
Sexy
the dating
giants.
world,
We were cute.
yes. But now in the dating world, I am specifically wanting to feel, of course, attractive in my own.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't mean I'm necessarily like writing people off for their height. It's not necessarily like, oh, I'm not considering you as my partner, especially if it's a meet in person situation. It's not like, oh, well, you don't hit that marker. It's more that I know a boundary for myself in order to feel better about myself and my body, is that I want to feel a little more petite, and I want to embrace that part of it. That is my truth when it comes to like height being a factor. But I know that other people are also just like, I just like the taller the better.
Hi.
That was awesome.
Did you like that?
did.
That was really
Thank you.
funky.
I said all the
enjoyed it.
vowels just then. I think it shouldn't be a deal breaker. That's where I'm like, if you guys are getting along and you have great banter and otherwise, you're attracted to them, if it's like, but he's 3 inches shorter than I'm, like, you need to internally look inside yourself. Why are you saying this? I think on dating apps, the point is to put your preference. If your preference is a taller individual, put it down. But if they flub the numbers, which they tend to do, I think then you should look in different areas. I don't think it should be as important as people are making it, because then you're causing insecurities within men specifically.
Yeah.
And it's feeding back into the culture of like these unchangeable things. And then us as women need to do better, because then we're mad if they, want bigger boobs and we can't change that. So,
I feel like with this, it comes down to people have different ratios of what they care about. For someone like me, sometimes I, would like a big person, but that's not like a make or break for me.
Right.
So it's like, that's a thing where I go like, okay, cool, or whatever, and then we move on to the next thing. I just have a different level of preference. And everyone has the right to have that different level of
I do agree.
preference, I do agree. So it's like, if you're a short, straight man, there's someone out there who is either stoked about you being short or doesn't give a about you being short.
Absolutely.
And it's just person to person.
Yeah.
It's like, I think hearing so often about the, short king, it's way too blown out of proportion.
Again, another
It's
label
per
that
person.
like actually just traps.
Right.
It's like, you're dating a short king. It's like, okay.
Right.
He's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And to hit on gay culture, thank God. We're just like, you're tall, you're short, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, bing bong, I'm big now, you're small
for
now.
sure.
Woo.
Yeah,
Bing bong, and I love that. If you're short, tall, anything, you are part of the dating pool.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Like,
human.
it would be so boring if everyone was the same.
If everyone was tall,
would
like
so
True.
Then we
Right.
find something else to be like, well,
that'd
I
be
want someone who has X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
terrible. No, but it
know.
would, Spectrum is good.
Now, we had a lot of folks comment on our community post that are on the aromantic or ace spectrum who expressed this sentiment. We should get rid of the weird social stigma around being single. I promise you, the world won't end if you or someone you know isn't in a relationship.
I completely
Ace
agree.
or not, that's
Yes.
completely incredible.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what we were saying earlier. Is just like, you are still an amazing, wonderful person if you are single. Like, being in a relationship doesn't mean you're the coolest, hottest, most successful person.
I also know miserable people in relationships.
Me
And sometimes
too.
it's just
my
not
God.
cool.
And I'm like, you would just be so much happier, and they know it too, if they were single, or at least took time to be single and find themselves. So
Absolutely.
again, to have the social expectation or the pressure, no matter what community you're in, and especially like women get that, why aren't you married? Why don't you have a baby?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
there are wants in play, and how lucky are we that we're not at a time where your wants don't matter? Like this,
Right.
Do what you
Exactly.
want. Let
Totally
people do what
true.
they want.
Absolutely.
Totally true.
You get to have the decision, like, do what you want.
Yeah. The assumption a lot of the times get boiled down to like, if you're single, it's like it's out of your control and like you're
Right, it's
not
not
able to
an
get
active
out of that
choice.
status.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, no, some people are actively choosing
that.
to
Yeah,
just
that's
be
why
single.
we put those labels on it. We put labels on being single, being,
Yeah.
being in a relationship, all those labels that they're non-existent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's the older generation or society. It was just like, you're married. When are you gonna have the kid?
Yeah.
Oh, you have
It's
a kid.
never
When are you gonna have a
enough. It's
second?
always,
It's never enough. So when you're single, I genuinely think some people just don't know what to talk to you about. That they'll literally
think
be
that
like,
is true,
so when
yeah.
are you gonna? And it's just like, what?
Well, that's
Yeah.
because they're also focused in on those things as the important life steps.
Yes.
So they're like, I know these as my thing, so
Yeah.
why aren't you?
There's so many other things going on in life
Totally.
than dating another person.
Yeah.
Ashby, you kind of talked about this, right? Like as you're going through your teens into your 20s and whatnot, you're still developing, right? You're growing. There's so many parts of you that are changing. So this assumption says, studies show our brains, especially the parts tied to empathy and self-awareness, don't fully mature until our late 20s/early 30s. So my hot take is that most people aren't ready for a healthy relationship until after 30.
I mean, you started dating when you
I'm
were
undercooked.
16.
Yes.
Well, you haven't farted in front of
Exactly.
Yeah.
God,
So
we're
that
almost
adds
there.
like 10
when
years.
we're 30.
Yeah.
I think 30 is maybe a too high standard. I think there is truth in that where, again, it's case by case. Some people
Yes.
don't know what they individually want. They don't know what they want to do or be. And so 30, golden age for them, perfect.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to commit a partner when I was very, very young. I proposed to 3 guys. It was ridiculous. And so.
Does he know that?
Yes, of course.
He does not know that.
And so, that's what made sense for me.
Right.
And I was lucky that I was right and it wasn't just a phase that I had. But yeah, I mean, you're not ready. You're young and you're cooking and your brain is developing and their brains are developing. And, I think for the majority of people, wait till you're ready.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's why the societal standards are so dangerous.
I agree, because it's also yes, being over 30, great, but it's being over 30 just means more time on this planet to learn hard lessons.
More wisdom.
That can always be good for a relationship.
Yeah.
More time to be I'm sorry and I actually mean it.
Yes.
You know how hard that is to say when you're 18?
So hard.
Oh
But
my
then
God.
also, if you watch The Golden Bachelor, some people are fully grown and they're acting
And they're not,
crazy.
so it's,
Watched it.
So it's one of those
so
things,
case by
again, where
case.
it's case by case. There's some old-ass men and ladies that don't know how to handle a conversation.
yeah, I mean, we all know
Totally.
someone older that is
yes.
not emotionally there.
Yes.
So it's
Who?
Yep.
so I think it is truly case by case. I think putting
Agreed.
a limit on yourself like that or broadcasting that,
Yeah.
not to shame this person at all, there's some good points here.
Yeah,
It's
very good
just
points.
I think if you're gonna go, well, I'm gonna wait to date until I'm 30, might hinder you
Yeah.
from some experiences that
Yes.
might
Right.
help you grow in that way that you're
Exactly.
waiting
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally, yeah.
Experiences are good, even if they are,
Hard.
Even if they're bad.
very hard. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll actually dial it back for a second here. The one.
Oh,
The one.
Oh boy.
Love at first sight does not exist.
that's the assumption.
That's the assumption.
I'd say
No,
that's
that's
true.
ridiculous.
Love at
What do you
first
think?
sight does
Oh,
not
oh.
exist.
We have that's ridiculous.
Oh my
We
God.
have of course.
Of course it exists.
This one over here.
They're fighting.
Ashby,
little
you're young,
lovebird.
you don't understand.
God, I'm gonna have to cancel the
please.
flights for our vacation.
Oh, her skinny
Jesus.
jeans are going
The honeymoon.
in.
No, just shut up.
This is the first time we're having a breakup live on assumptions.
God.
You go first.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
we're back
think
together.
They're making it. They've resolved things.
I don't think it is as, people, you see each other and it's the one. Because obviously there's so much more that goes into that. But I do believe in fate. I believe in soulmates. And obviously, we met on the school bus in elementary school and we went to the same school every year. We had the same birthday. We're neighbors in Virginia. We've done everything together, connected the hip. And it's just it's hard not to believe in something like that with something like this. So I'm an advocate for that. However, my partner over here hates love.
This guy? Oh,
Yeah.
I hate love.
he hates love. He's the Grinch of love.
Yes.
I do agree with some of the things that you said.
Thank you.
My partner, my birthday is 9/11. His birthday is January 6th. And so that's hilarious.
I knew that, and yet every time he says it, I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Where were you?
And
in
it's
9/11?
his best friend that he met in college in New York was my classmate in high school. And then it was this guy, and he's like, what the hell? And there's so many similarities of things that were just of course, we were just oh, does Halloween overwhelm you and you never get a costume right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, of course you do. Of course this is exactly the same. We're
Yes.
we're brain people. But I feel usually the people in the past that I've seen and gone oh my God, they've been the worst person you've ever imagined.
Yeah.
Totally.
At least from my definitions of that, it's lust at first sight.
I was just gonna say,
that's
it's like
what's real.
pheromones. It's
Right.
you're oh, and then you're
Yeah.
just a year later, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I went through absolute hell based on that kind of feeling. Because I was I'm gonna chase this fun, thing.
Yeah.
And then I was oh, I'm gonna die.
Right.
And I'll also say my experience is luck. That is right place, right time,
Oh, of
right
course. Yeah,
century.
yeah.
And so it's one of those things where I'm not oh, you didn't find your person in elementary school? Why? It's that doesn't happen. That doesn't exist,
Right.
Ashby, a lot of the words that you said were perfect for
Thank
this
you.
next assumption. It pretty much goes right into this next one. Soulmates aren't real. The idea that there's
ridiculous.
one perfect person for you to spend the rest of your life with is ridiculous. There's multiple people who you could be compatible with. It's just a matter of right time, right place.
Okay, let me tennis that back to you. Does that not then make that person the special
soulmate?
person?
Because it
The right
was
time, right
matter-
place,
yeah.
and you combine at the right thing?
Past lives.
I think it's
Exactly.
this gives very Crystal's religion vibe, where it's like, believe it or not,
Hey.
like it's all the same. Because it's like you can be like, yes, soulmates, this was meant to be and this is how it's supposed to be. And that can be true in a celestial destiny way,
Right.
or it could just be someone that you connected with at the right time, right place, and you have the good connection.
Yes.
That's, you can label it soulmate, you can label it partner, whatever you want. I feel like it.
And maybe they're soulmate for like a certain amount of time, a time that
Right.
you've grown to a certain
Exactly.
place. Then you're like, we're done growing together.
Yeah.
I feel like you can have a soulmate, but I don't think it lasts until the end of time sometimes. Sometimes a person, like, you grow here and they're like staying here. So it's like you kind of need to move on and find your other soulmate.
And I also think with the compatibility thing, like, yes, obviously I'd be compatible with multiple different people, and he'd be compatible with multiple different people. But do I still believe that I found the best of that, and then the right place, right
Yes.
time? So it's like this, therefore that kind of thing. It's you know, I found him,
this is the
therefore this
timeline.
exists, or this exists,
Right.
therefore I found him. So it's whatever sounds more romantic. It's whatever you want to
Exactly.
believe in. You know.
I think so, yeah. And it also, I think, in a way, that sort of thinking can help the relationship have a little bit of,
Whimsy.
an extra bit of love.
Yeah.
even,
yeah,
you
it's
know?
beautiful.
Yeah.
And that is sort of the idealism of faith, is that you don't have doubts.
Right.
So it's like you can say, oh, he and I are soulmates, and how are we going to prove you wrong?
Right. But it's also one of those things where I think it's danger zone if people think, some people believe you only have one soulmate, and then one person in college is convinced that Chad was their soulmate, and then they think, oh, that's it. He was the perfect, and it was me. So again, it's so fluid. It's whatever you
And
want it
that's
to be.
the other
Yeah.
thing with dating is just like people, they want to make sense of it. They want to like put labels on it. They want to be like, oh, but you're in this and you're in this and
Yeah.
you're in this. And if you're in this, you did it. And like soulmates, well, they're ridiculous. It's like dating is, it is right place, right time, preference, case by case. It's like sometimes making sense of it is what's making my head spin.
Yeah.
right
Totally.
now.
It's a lot.
Totally.
It's very
Instead
complex.
of it just being a pit of unknown that we're
Yeah.
just like discovering, we're
Yeah.
trying to figure out what it is.
I think that's
Exactly.
more romantic than the fate thing. I think of all just like swirling together and we just happen to meet kind of thing.
I think
100%.
right time,
That's more
right
romantic
place
to
is
me.
like because kind of like okay, dating, but what about friendships? Like,
Yeah.
There's friendship soulmates.
I
was just about to say.
friendship soulmates where it's just like, dude, you are my literal
Yeah,
soulmate.
or like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we were meant to meet.
Yeah.
Like we were meant to laugh together.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, luckily we get to finish on one that I think we're all going to agree on. Ooh. The true test of a potential partner is how they get along with your friends.
This is real.
Very real. That feeling when you're dating someone, you're really into them, and they're about to meet your friends is like throw up city.
Throw
I
up city.
hate it. Friends, it matters. There's like no bigger ick than having your friend be like,
Yeah,
oh
what
my
do you do
God,
if they
you're
don't like
bringing,
him?
It sucks.
It
You kind of
sucks.
end up
Break up with
breaking
them?
up.
Well,
Yeah, because the people you surround yourself with is who you are at
Right.
the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And in both ways, they reflect on you and you like reflect
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
So if your partner isn't meshing well with your group of friends,
Yeah.
like you're gonna run into trouble most likely with this person.
It's kind of like a vibe check of like, hey, can you check me and make sure that I don't have goggles on because I think I
100%.
love them, or because we had like a great first date? Like, can you just make sure that they are
And
like
it's
as
not
awesome as I think?
always red flag. It sometimes is like, yeah, he's fine. That's the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you are like, oh no. It really does like taint what who you're with, honestly. And then you start to be like, you kind of go through this thing of being like, well, then we can't like really hang out with my friends.
And then that's hell.
And then
Oh,
that's
terrible.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes it takes a second, I think, to warm up as well, right? Because your friends,
That's also
similar to your
true.
parents, they can
Yeah.
be protective. They want to like make sure
is
that you're
true.
finding somebody that they're like, oh, you deserve like a king. You deserve like somebody that's really going to show up for you. And sometimes that takes time
Yes.
to prove. Sometimes months.
It's also reversed though, like when you meet their friends. Because you're like, who are you hanging out with?
Oh, that I can see.
And like meeting my boyfriend's friends, I was like, these are incredible human beings. It was beautiful. I was like, oh, you have great, wonderful people who are like
Yes.
well-adjusted and like
Yes.
emotionally aware. And I was like, oh, well, this makes sense because you are that.
Right.
I completely agree with you. It's such a reaffirmation for me every time I hang out with my partner's friends of like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. Like I get to have this person who they all love. And like, it's just a private moment of like actually feeling grateful to have them in your life privately.
It's a big thing. I will say with family, it's also a big thing, but friends are more intense because you're hanging out with friends a lot more.
Yeah.
But like I have 3 sisters, and if one of my sisters doesn't really like my partner, it sucks.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Totally.
really hard.
And that's honestly a whole nother thing to bring in as well. We kind of discussed it with parents, but like your family's opinions, your friends' opinions. I think the world of dating, even now in modern dating, there are so many different things that we can break down. I think we touched on a lot of good stuff, especially like getting into the hookup culture, the dating apps. Like that feels like what is in the zone right now when people think of dating. But that is all the assumptions that we have today.
Incredible.
Whoa.
Yes. Thank you to everybody who submitted an assumption. If you want to participate and make more assumptions about future topics, we are always doing videos like this. But whether you're single or booed up, all 4 of us wish you a very happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, you're deserving of love and to be treated well. So just remember that, okay?
That's all that matters.
These guys over here too.
Okay?
No,
You-
Just remember that, okay?
just them?
Oh, no, just our camera.
Just this
Okay.
one.
Just our
wait,
camera.
but
You want to
you-
lean in and point?
No, you are worthy, and you are all that matters.
Okay, them over there?
Am
Them
I
over
on?
there?
You're only doing your
We
best.
don't like you
You
anymore.
you are
We
worth.
don't like you.
No, you're with me.
No.